Hi folks, I'm back with another video around alternative social networks. I've had a series of them already that I've covered, Mastodon and one or two others, and I'll put a link at the end of this video which links to my playlist dealing with alternative networks. So these are alternatives to things like Facebook and Twitter and the more generally known networks. The idea of this video is just to give you a feeling and a taste for what a particular network looks like and whether it's for you before you have to go and install and register and go through all the trouble of getting started on that network. So that's really the purpose of the video, is just to give you a preview and for you to decide then whether you want to go for it or not. So today I'm covering Diaspora. Diaspora is part of the Fediverse. So the same interaction can happen with users on Mastodon, Friendica, GNU Social, Hubzilla, and many other networks. You can follow users from those different networks that are part of the Fediverse. They can follow you. You can like and interact and so on between each other. You don't have to sit on their actual network. You can have your home on Diaspora and follow people on Mastodon, Hubzilla, SocialMe, GNU Social, PixelFed, wherever, Friendica, and so on. So the idea is, it's more decentralized. I'll show a little bit later what that inter-network interaction actually looks like. But by way of comparison, Mastodon is sort of a microblogging network, like the centralized Twitter, whilst Diaspora is a macro-blogging network, more similar to Facebook, where it has longer content posts, threaded conversations, along with other additional features. So what I'm showing here on the screen at the moment is just some of the networks that make up the Fediverse itself. But let's look a little bit closer then, I think, at Diaspora. So this is just explaining sort of how Diaspora works. The Diaspora project was founded in 2010, which is now 10 years ago already. And the word diaspora is Greek in origin and refers to a scattered or dispersed population. It's not a centralized network like Facebook or Twitter. It consists of lots of pods or instances or servers, whatever you want to call them, which are independently hosted in different countries and by different people. And they all seamlessly interconnect so that you can join any one of them and follow and interact with people at other pods. And they can interact with you in turn. You can even host a pod or administer a pod yourself if you want to, just for you or your friends or your family or for everybody worldwide. It does require an email address, though, to register, which can be seen by the pod admin. So just bear that in mind. And which is maybe why in some cases people might want to host their own pod themselves. And you need to note also that because of the federation across the Fediverse, posts are not encrypted. Although you'll see also you can control who sees them and doesn't see them. But just bear in mind they're not actually encrypted end to end or anything. When Google Plus shut down, Diaspora also gained a lot of new users who did not want to go to Facebook. And the Pluspora pod was also created as a home for those ex-Google Plus users. So you will hear about Pluspora sometimes. It is basically just a pod that is part of a Diaspora network, which is in turn part of the Fediverse. So a lot of the ex-Google Plus users are now using that particular pod, the Pluspora pod, as their home pod really within Diaspora. Then a key part also of the original Diaspora software design concept was that it should act as a social integrator, allowing posts to be easily imported from Facebook, the pre-2018 Tumblr, and Twitter. I'm not sure if any of that is still working, though. I know Hubzilla has got it working, but I'm not seeing it actually on Diaspora at the moment. But you can also use Diaspora to post from it as your main blog, and it can push your posts out to Twitter and to Tumblr accounts. That is certainly still working, and I'll show it just now when we do some posting. Then another important concept around Diaspora is also its concept of aspects. Aspects are very much like Google Plus's circles used to be. Only the people that you've added to that aspect will actually see the post that you make and any interactions on it. So it contains them separately, circles them or ring fences those posts as completely separate from each other. It's like little separate groups or circles. So you can keep family and friends and work completely separate if you wish. You can also view your stream just by aspect, which cuts out all other noise. So for example, if you had a friends aspect, if you clicked on that aspect friends, you'd only be seeing the posts from your friends. Anything you post to that aspect will only be seen by your friends. So it gives you an incredible amount of control over what you see and what is seen by others of your post. Again, this is very much unlike Twitter and some of the other networks where what you post is just public and that's it. There's no real control over who sees it. A lot of people do like to keep their work lives and their private lives separate. Unfortunately, you only have one profile to work from on the account, a public part and a private part of that. So you cannot actually change your identity for each aspect like Hubzilla can. And I will be doing a video in the future about Hubzilla social network itself. It'll be quite an interesting one as well, I think. So this is just a little bit more information here about Diaspora, where it says be who you want to be. Remember, that's your identity, the user or the name that you're going to be basically giving out to people. So although you need the email address to register, you can decide what username and what people see of you on Diaspora or any of the other networks you share to. So yeah, unfortunately it does require your email registration, but that is more for notifications and alerts and so on. You don't have to make it public, and essentially whatever you choose as your username is going to be who you want to be. You can use pseudonyms. There's no requirement or any control over what names or real names that you use. Yeah, and then also you own your data. Nobody else owns the data. It's not being resold to third parties. Obviously, you want to look at the pod that you're joining because it's fairly important in terms of any particular local rules that they have. But generally in Diaspora, you own the data. You can export your data. You can move it elsewhere if you need to. You can host it yourself if you want to, and that does give you then really full control over that. You can choose your audience. That's through the aspects. I've already talked here about the aspects. You can tell the whole world. You can make it public. Your posts that you make, or public posts at least that you make, are fully public. Anybody can view them and you can reshare them and they can be reshared outward, which is great. The same concepts of hashtags and mentions are applicable here, just like any other or most other social networks. And then you can obviously reshare posts, and you can love or like other people's posts as well. And we have talked already about hosting your own community project. So I think, yeah, without further ado, let's dive in and have a look at what Diaspora actually looks like. So this is the main Diaspora screen. I've got the dark theme enabled. Depending on the pod that you join, there may be certain other themes you can choose from, but generally you've got light or dark. So this is the dark theme. And then what you see in your stream here in the middle is going to be controlled by these links up on the left over here. So typically that's my default stream at the moment. I can also just click on my activity and just look at the things that I've posted or things that I've liked or commented on. I can otherwise click on mentions and just see where I've been mentioned in a post. And this is the interesting one, probably, is aspects. You can, if you'd clicked on aspects and said select all, you'll only be seeing the posts that of people that you're following within these various aspects. So it'll be work, other friends, ham radio, well, whatever you've got. You can decide what you want to call. I've got a lot of ex-Google Plus followers as well that I've still got on Diaspora. So that'll be purely what you actually seeing. So depending on which aspect I'm choosing here, say for example green technology, it's going to show me all the posts just from the people that I have in my green technology, aspect. So for example, here's somebody here, and you can see there that person is from Pluspora. That's at a different Diaspora pod, and I've already got them in my Google Plus follower aspect as well. And you can see I've got, say, technology over there, and these will be all the people that are in my technology feed or my technology group that I'm busy following. I can also just show quickly, seeing this has popped open here. On the right hand side here, you've also got instant messaging. So for Diaspora, so you can set a a presence for yourself here, and you can be instant message, or you can just say you're offline as well. But that's another alternative over there. Then you've also got on views here, followed tags, any particular tags that you are following. So I've got a couple here, Green Tech, Cape Town, Linux, and so on. And again, it's going to filter your view then on just posts that have got that tag, say in this case, open source. And that's what you're going to see. So it gives you an idea of also what the posts look like. You can see these people have linked something into a post. And again, if I go look, this person is at a completely different pod. Or let me just check, because there's a whole lot. I mean, you'll see I'm following from all the way across the Fediverse. Okay, that's a Friendica account, same pod as I'm on for Friendica. In fact, SweetMe. So not even part of a Diaspora network, and I can now add that person as a contact in one of my aspects if I want to. Plenty of flexibility there. Just get back here. The other one you can just have a look at is public activity. So public activity is going to be all the posts that have been posted on your current pod or instance. So if you've joined an engineering instance, for example, you might just find a lot of those posts are going to be around, say, engineering, but it could just as well have been anything else. I mean, it could have been a pod in Australia that is for Australians, and then you're going to see a lot of posts from Australians about Australia. So these are public posts 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. So this is one way of just finding generally what's going on the pod that you belong to. And you can decide whether you want to follow the people or comment or whatever you want to do. You also have got a search box at the top here where you can either search for users. If you know what somebody's address is, say at Mastodon or somewhere else, you're going to just fill in their address in this search box at the top. And then you can be able to follow them as well. But say, for example, in this case, you want to check and see, let's see, we want to look for any posts relating to environment. Then I'll search in that box, and you'll see it shows here 87 people are tagged that have got the hashtag environment in their profiles. So that's something I can have a look at. Or these are posts over here that have got environment tagged in the post. Up here, you'll see as well, you can click on follow the environment post if you want, environment hashtag posts, then that'll obviously add it to your hashtags that are being followed. It'll create a new view for you. But I could go down here. What I also want to show while you're looking at this is these are now general posts you're seeing that are hashtagged, say, with environment. But you can control over this as well. You can enable notifications. You can tick on here and follow this post specifically for anybody that posts or anything that happens around it. But you can also report the post, because this is now how you can filter out and block any people or posts. If you click on report though, you're going to notice as well, it says here, please ignore things you do not like. Nothing can be done with reports from non-diaspora.org users, because that's the pod that I belong to. Obviously the admin doesn't have control over people and pods from other instances. Please do not report them. Posts from dias.org users that do not violate our terms of service will not be removed. Please do not report and use the ignore feature. So what they're saying then is for that, in that case, is if it's not violating the conditions and you just don't like it, obviously if it's violating, you're going to put a reason in here and you can report it. But otherwise they're saying use ignore, and ignore will effectively just ignore that user. It's not going to report them or block them, but you won't see them anymore. So it's a quick way of, just blocking something out that you don't want to see, or a person you don't want to see in your feed anymore. And alternatively, if it's just a specific post, you can just click there and say hide the post itself. So you've got a fair bit of control over there how you see what's inside your feed. You can still follow environment, but you could, as I said, mute or block this particular user, or if they really are violating conditions, you can report them. If you like what they've posted, you can also click down here and you can say like. You've got the option to reshare it to your own feed, and you can also type in a comment with all the formatting and so on there involved as well. So that's generally how you're going to interact on posts. What I can also show here, if we go a bit further down, so if we go down this feed for the hashtag environment, you can see here is my SweetMe account. That's a Friendica account. And if you go further down, you'll see here is another post that was made actually from my Hubzilla account, Gadgeteer at hubzilla.gadgeteer.co.za. So that is a completely separate network. By searching there for hashtag environment, it's searched further than just within Diaspora. It's searched across the Fediverse for posts that I've made on other networks. And I can interact now with this post. You'll see there at the moment, I am following this as well. So I've added this profile already to my tech aspect. But interesting part is I have liked this particular post. I can also go and comment on this post now. Remember, it's on a different network. I'm working within Diaspora still. Would like the upgrade kit for this car! Exclamation. And I can bold. I'm not sure if the bold, let's see if it comes out on the other network or how it appears there. So I'm going to say comment, and you can see my comment has been posted now less than a minute ago. If I go to my Hubzilla account, which is now on the other network, let me just do a refresh here. This is where I posted from. This is a quick preview of Hubzilla, by the way. It's what was not intentional really, but just to show. So what's of interest here is there was the original post made 19 hours ago by me on the Hubzilla node. And you'll see down here, there it's already appeared. The comment less than a minute ago from Diaspora. Would you like the upgrade in bold kit for this car? So there you can already see that from Diaspora, I could make a comment. It appeared in Hubzilla. And if I now on Hubzilla at the moment say, I like your comment. There I've got one like. If I go back to here, now I'm probably just going to have to refresh this page and hope I'm still where I am. I'm back on Diaspora. If I go down, I'm not actually seeing the like come through. Let me just check I'm looking at the right post. That's the one at Hubzilla. Okay, I'm not actually seeing, I don't know if the likes come through on the comments, but anyway, it does demonstrate that you can very freely interact, view, like, comment between the two networks without any problems. It's as if you're on the same network, so really not an issue. Let's go up and have a look then also quickly just at the profile and some of the menu options. So if you go to the profile, you can see you can put a fairly long bio there as well, relating to your other accounts and networks, gender, location, as much as you want to put in there really. And you'll see also then it's showing under the profile my last couple of posts. I haven't posted, as I said, I'm not posting regularly on Diaspora because the reason is people from Diaspora can already follow me at the other places I'm posting. And if I do also post at Diaspora, I'm going to end up, with lots of duplicate posts across the Fediverse itself. As it is, people still comment once in a while and saying they're picking up posts in more than one place. So yeah, that's basically the profile. Then, you've got contacts, and also by your various aspects, you can view your contacts. And then I can show some of the settings. Settings are generally quite interesting. So you've got your Diaspora ID obviously over here, where you can change your password, your home language. There's your different themes that I've got available at the moment. Then you've got some stream preferences, whether you want to see the getting started hints, whether you can do an automatic share back or follow back and so on of users, and what the default aspect is for that you'll put users into. So if I've got any users that I automatically follow, they're going to go into other friends, but I can move them to any of the other aspects. Then You can do a default aspect for posting. So it'll just be, mine is by default public, but you could be posting by default to, say, family, you know, if you wanted to. And then what sort of notifications you want to receive, how your browser and everything handles links for Diaspora links. You can export your data, and you can also export your photos, and you can close your account. Remember, you've got full control over your data. Then under privacy, you can choose to ignore users, or you can stop ignoring users. I've just blanked these out so I don't actually know who I'm blocking. People don't actually know who you've ignored, so you still appear as a friend to them, but you're not actually seeing any of their posts. There's various reasons for that. So yeah, there's that. You've also got a privacy setting up here where you can strip out metadata such as location, author, camera model, and so on from any images that you've uploaded. Then you've got two-factor authentication. I am set up for Authy, using Authy at the moment. And you've got recovery codes to recover if you've lost your two-factor authentication. Services, I'll show you just now when you're posting, you can opt to also send the same post out to Twitter or to your Tumblr accounts. And I don't have any applications linked at the moment, but this will be your mobile apps and where you've shared access rights, maybe things like if then else, what's that thing? IFTTT type network. If you've given that rights to post on your behalf and so on, those things will show up here, and you can block them out if necessary. So let's get to the exciting stuff then, like posting. It must be exciting because I do it all the time. So here you'd say there where it says start a conversation, you just click in there and you can give your post a title. So this is the title, and you can then just take it like that, and you can bold it. Sorry, you can bold it, or you can make it a heading if you want to. Oops, I've just messed it up now, of course, because I've got both in there. It's just using markdown language. You can just use your markdown codes directly in here, actually. Or if you click over here and markdown, it'll bring up a lot of additional help about how you can mark down for additional functionality. So this is the title, and here goes the content I'm talking about. And then what you can do from here is you could insert a link from an article like I generally do. You could insert an image inline, and that'll be by just, it was not uploading an image, you just link to an image that already exists on the internet. You could do an unordered list, you could do an ordered list, you could do a code snippet, or you could insert a quote or in quotations. In this stage, I'm going to upload a photo. So if you click over here, you can upload a photo like this. And it's going to attach it now to the post as an attached image. You could also have made this a poll if you wanted to poll your users for opinions or something else. And you can also optionally add a location if you wanted to. Now, before I actually share the post, there's just one or two other things you want to have a look at. So you can also click on here to automatically share the same post to your Twitter account. And you'll see it comes up with the limits, the Twitter limits over there, or to your Tumblr account. Tumblr obviously allowing 950 characters or so. And then you've also got here the default. I'm defaulted to public, but I could have, this is where I talked about a bit earlier, where if I'm making a post, I could post it only to the people that I've got in my, say, my work aspect or my family aspect, and that's only the people that are going to see this post. It won't be a public post, but let me just leave it as a public post for now. That's obviously where you're going to determine to which other services you could actually post it. I see, like I said, Facebook doesn't seem to be one of the options at the moment, but there is also the option for an Atom feed, which is an RSS feed. So people could follow you via RSS reader as well. And actually, wait, let me maybe not make this public, because then it literally will be a public post. Let me just post it to family, then it's not going to go out to everybody. And I'll say post. And that's what people are going to basically see. There's your big image, or it'll be 2 or 3 images, whatever it may be. This is the title, nice and big and bold, and the text goes underneath there. So that's basically posting. It's not too difficult. You can also embed videos into your posts. So you can embed from services like YouTube, Vimeo, and various of the other video services. Then it'll also just be a click to play type posting, just like you see on Facebook and Twitter and various of the other social media. Then I think the only other last thing I really want to say about Diaspora probably is it's still going strong. I am still finding where I'm posting from Hubzilla and Friendica networks at the moment, I get quite a lot of interaction and comments from people on the various Diaspora pods. So it's although we're not hearing as much about it as the first maybe 5 years or so when they were really a big alternative network, there weren't many other alternatives around. We've got a lot more newer alternative networks now, I think, and a lot more mobile friendly as well. So it's not as loud as it was. Its last big spurt or growth spurt, I think, was when Google Plus shut down. A lot of the users have gone there and they are still using it solidly as their social network of choice. So if you're on the Fediverse, you will find quite a few people from Diaspora that you interact with. Maybe just the last thing to mention then is around the mobile app side. I'm not finding anything for iOS at the moment, but there is an option down at the bottom left over here where it says switch to touch optimized mode. What that effectively is doing is it puts it into a mobile friendly mode. So you can, on any mobile browser, you could use that and you could view it quite happily with all the mobile type interaction like these type of menus and so on, which are touch optimized. So, you know, that is an option. On Android, I'm finding quite a few options. There is on the F-Droid store, you can find an application called Dandelion with an asterisk at the end of the name. And that one is quite actively used, actually, should I say, as a full-blown Diaspora app. Then also on the Android Play Store, there's one just called Diaspora, and it's a native web app. So it's effectively giving you this view in an app, so you're not having to use your browser. I'm not finding very, very broad support, maybe as there is, say, for Mastodon and some of the newer networks. But if anybody else is aware of other good apps, especially for iOS, then just please leave a comment below the video or, you know, in reply to my post, and we can at least, you know, note that as well. But otherwise, as I said, yeah, Diaspora, that's basically it. That's about all I can really say at this stage. And I'll be covering a couple of other networks in future. Like I said, I am still waiting for one or two things just to happen with Yumi Social before I feature their network. They are a very new network, which was intended as an alternative to Google Plus, or a home for Google Plus users with a lot of similar functionality to Google Plus. And I'll certainly still be covering Hubzilla and the Friendica network in the near future as well. But yeah, that's it, and stay safe your side, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.